everybody. Welcome in to yet another edition of Nostalgia Mania, episode 47 to be exact. We are back in the daycast here on Wednesday nights, back where we originally started Nostalgia Mania. We're back for the fall season at least. We cover the movies and wrestling shows of the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. I am your host, the real Josh Elliott. With me, as always, the man, the myth, the legend, Bryan J. Baby! What's up, sir? How are you?
Not a whole lot. How's it going?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Good to be back here on Wednesday nights, where it all started for Nostalgia Mania. I had to do a little bit of shuffling due to my kids' soccer schedule, but we're back. So...
Yep, and we may be back on Tuesdays later on.
Yeah, we might. We may do it. We have a week where we do both nights. You never know. You never know when Nostalgia Mania is going to be live.
We could.
Appreciate Brody Hall for joining in. Hunter Dillon in the house. Appreciate you guys for tuning in live. If you are listening on the podcast platform, as we just said, we are live every Wednesday night for the fall season at least. Come join us. Come take a trip down memory lane and get nostalgic with us, as we say each and every week. We cover a different movie every single week. We also cover one wrestling show per month. We just did that last week, SummerSlam 1992. Go check that out on our social, on YouTube and Facebook. You can also check that out on any social podcast platform, I should say. But outside of that, appreciate how you doing, Bryan? How was your weekend?
Weekend was good. Always love the long weekends. But, just kind of relaxed. Got some Halloween stuff out. And getting ready to start my hours and hours of decorating.
So you're an early September Halloween decorator, huh?
Actually, I'm a little late. Usually, my oldest son's birthday is August 24th. I was told that I can't put anything up until the day after his birthday, but we were a little busy, few things going on, so we're going to start this weekend.
That's wild, man. I'll never forget. Brody can attest to this because he was there. We went to a fantasy football draft at our buddy Chase Riley's house. You know Chase Riley.
Oh, yeah.
Him and his wife, and I don't know if it was more so his wife, I think, but I think he's into it as well. We went to his house, I don't know, August 21st, 23rd, somewhere around there for his draft. And he had the entire living room decked out in pumpkins and spiders. And I said, I've never seen Halloween this early.
Yeah. It's, well, the thing is, I've got a lot. We probably will get 130 plus kids on Halloween. So it's really like a family thing. And I've made, I will post pictures on TikTok and stuff, probably Halloween Day, but I made a graveyard out of plywood, painted them all up with fun, like goofy, funny names. And I made like 14 of them. So I have quite a few of those, lights, fog machine. It's just fun. And then I get a lot of the adults that like it too. And there's one guy in my neighborhood who always walks his dog. And he's like, you know what? I love when you put this stuff up early. And he's like, it just gets me going, you know. And he's like, he's probably our age, but always walking his dog around. He's like, all right, man, you're all right. So I mean, you got to have fun.
I love it, man. We don't have a ton of Halloween decorations, but I'm kind of the same way with Christmas though. Like I'll put Christmas up as early as I can. So I do love me some Christmas.
So our buddy Chase Riley has seen my house, and we live on a corner. Christmas time there, the way our subdivision is set up, our backyard is very small. However, our subdivision has about 2.5-3 miles of walking trails, and it goes between the houses. So from our back fence to our neighbor's back fence behind us is a good like 50 or 75 to 100 feet. So I decorate for Christmas all the way around, and literally the day after Halloween, I'm putting up Christmas stuff because it takes me. I think I counted last year close to 54 hours just putting up all that we have.
That's awesome.
So when we get to Christmas vacation, I get called Clark Griswold quite a bit.
Griswold. I was gonna say you gotta give off that Griswold vibe.
I do, and again, all the kids around here, it's fun.
Oh yeah. I don't necessarily decorate. We do have a little bit of decorations outside, but ours is mostly like the inside decorations. We'll put the tree up early. We'll put decorate the mantle, all that good stuff. I think I might try to put lights up this year. I don't know. We'll see. But what are we doing, man? We're talking Halloween and we're talking Christmas in September. We're getting ready to talk about one of the most iconic movies of the 2000s and really of any sports movie, and that's Remember the Titans. We're going to dive into that here shortly. Go ahead, Brian. Am I frozen or is that you?
I think you're glitching a little bit. I checked my Wi-Fi and it looks good.
All right. Lovely. Well, we'll let the viewers tell us who's glitching out and who's not, because I look just fine. Before we get started, just as a reminder, we will be doing the retro recast at the end of this episode. So if you're watching live right now or if you're listening on the podcast platform, be thinking on who you want to recast as the four main characters of the movie. We've got Coach Boone, we've got Coach Yost, Gary and Julius. Who would you recast if you were making Remember the Titans today in 2025? Make sure you get those picks in and let us know. We will cover it a little bit later after we kind of break down the whole episode. But
looking at you, Brody.
Looking at you. I sent that graphic to him early in the week, so he's had plenty of time to get some answers in for us. So,
good deal.
Did you hear about all the hubbub about the logo change of a certain restaurant over the last week?
I did, and here's my thought on that. Nobody at all got upset when McDonald's went from being kid-friendly to a prison. So now everybody's upset about this logo change. And honestly, I don't eat there much, so it doesn't affect me.
We don't go to Cracker Barrel very often either.
I mean, it's good when I do, but it's just you know what? People get upset now over things for dumb reasons.
Yep. All right.
That being one of them.
That being one of them. We're gonna start diving into this movie, guys. With the logo right below us. Remember the Titans. If you remember this movie, give us a thumbs up, a heart in the comments. Bryan J, we're gonna do this trend every single week. You're gonna break down and give us the premise of each and every movie. We're gonna start that tonight. Brian, tell us what Remember the Titans is about.
Well, so first off, we'll start off. They all are getting together at a funeral of one of the players 10 years after the introduction of the movie. So it's 1971, and they're still kind of integrating schools. And it's Alexandria, Virginia's mostly white schools. So they integrate, and was it T.W. Williams High School or T.C. Williams is the new name of this school as they integrated, and they show at the beginning people are standoffish with each other, not liking each other, whatever. So the school hires Coach Boone, black coach, on the just to be like one of the coaches on the team, The coach at Alexandria, he's very well loved. He is very good at what he does. He's won like 14 seasons in a row or something like that, and so he's kind of like butt heads a little bit and talking, and then later on, it's coach. The school thinks that to kind of help integrate everyone, Coach Boone is going to be the head coach. So the other coach says that he's going to leave, and he says, "No, I need you on the team. You can run the defense. We'll work together. Let's do this together." So they end up going to a college for 2 weeks for their football mini camp, where the players are obviously butting heads, and they end up. So Coach Boone's like, "Okay, you're going to spend one day talking to a player of the opposite color, and then at the end of this camp, you're going to know something about each of the other players." So they start doing this, and then Julius and Gary were coming back one day, and they started talking. And he's like, "You know what I know about you? You're a great football player, but you're holding back, and you're not doing." They become friends, and they all become friends at camp. Get back into school, and they start playing, start winning. They kind of having a little problem with their play. They're not playing as well as they did in camp, and they're like, "Hey, we got to pull it together. This isn't camp anymore. This is real life, but we got to play like we were at camp." And it ends up, sorry, this is taking too long, but
You're good.
they make it to the championship game, and one of the people at the school told Coach Yost, "Hey, once you lose, we're going to make sure that you lose this next game. Then we'll fire Coach Boone. You'll have your job back, and you'll get into the High School Football Hall of Fame." Well, this doesn't settle well with him because he's become kind of friends with Coach Boone, and they brought the team together, and he sees how well they're playing together and how great, this opportunity is. He goes out and tells the head ref, "Hey, look, we're not going to win this way. You're not going to do this. If you do, I'm going to blow the whistle on this whole scandal, and everybody's going to get in trouble." So they end up going on and winning the game. After the game, everybody's partying. Julius goes out with his girlfriend. After Gary had asked him, "Hey, do you want to go out?" He's like, "Hey, I'm going to go out with my girlfriend." He's like, yeah, you go ahead and do that." Gary's riding along, gets hit by another car, ends up being paralyzed. And then 10 years later, he passes away, which goes back to the start of the movie at the funeral. Whew, that was a lot to get through. But
It's a lot. The movie is packed full of everything. Right.
Yeah.
So I think you kind of summed it up pretty good. It's by far, I don't want to say by far, but it is probably top 3 for sure favorite sports movies of all time. We're going to get into a little bit of a conversation a little bit later on the type of movie that this is, but we can jump into the movie as we always do. We kind of talk about kind of the background and the production. This was directed, and I'm going to probably mispronounce this name. Boz Yakin was the director.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, the producer was Jerry Bruckheimer, which we know him. He's done a lot of great movies and films in the 90s and early 2000s. This movie was released in September of 2000, which is why we're doing it here in September, our first movie of September, by Walt Disney. And you kind of mentioned, I don't know if you mentioned this in the rundown or not, this is based on a true story. So this entire movie is based off of the 1971 T.C. Williams High School football team. So Yeah, which something I obviously knew. I just had forgotten until I started watching the movie, and it said based on a true story at the very beginning, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is a true story. Now, box office and budget. We always love to talk numbers here at the top. Did you write down any of the numbers for the movie?
I didn't write them down, but I do have them here. Like the budget was $30 million, and the box office drew 136.8 million.
That's a worldwide total gross box office, $136 million on a $30 million budget. And it made $20 million on the opening weekend. So it almost made its full budget back in one weekend. And it dominated the charts for that year. So I did jot these down. I want to compare them to other sports movies of the time.
Sure.
So let's run down here. So let's just say 115 million domestic and 136 million total. That's what Remember the Titans made. Let's run down a couple of these other sports movies. Any Given Sunday, released in 1999, just a few months before this one, made 75 million, 100 million worldwide, so 36 less than Remember the Titans. For the Love of the Game, also made 99, made only 46 million. Varsity Blues, 54 million. The Replacements, 50 million. And that's the only four that I wrote down because those are the only ones that were released around the time Remember the Titans was. Complete domination in the box office. Any Given Sunday came close, but as far as a box office draw,
And honestly, if you were to ask me which of the other three that I would want to do a Retromania on would be, take a guess.
You talking about an episode of this or a retro recast?
Yes, an episode.
Okay. Probably Varsity Blues.
Nope. I would go with The Replacements.
Oh, would you? Oh, nice. I like The Replacements. I like all those movies, honestly.
I thought that movie was great.
Yeah.
I still watch it to this day. I actually watched it a couple weeks ago.
Did you? Yeah. It's been a while since I've seen The Replacements. I did watch Any Given Sunday within the past year. That was on. We were scrolling. I was over at my dad's house, and he was scrolling through he still had live TV, which is crazy nowadays, I feel like. But we watched Any Given Sunday. It was pretty good. So, all right, let's talk about the cast and characters. The iconic Denzel Washington played Coach Herman Boone, who we're going to recast a little bit later. I don't know how you can successfully recast Denzel Washington, but we're going to try. Will Patton played Coach Yost. Wood Harris was Julius. Ryan Hurst was Gary Boudier. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Who else did we have? We had Kit Pardue played Sunshine.
Yep. Donald Faison played Petey Jones.
Yep.
Ethan Suplee played Louis Lastic.
Look at Ethan
if you
Suplee.
Guys remember, a few episodes ago when we watched Without a Paddle, Ethan Suplee was in that, and in this he's hilarious. He comes walking in as a transfer. He was a military kid. Parents moved because of the military. He comes in as a transfer, and he comes up and he starts talking to all the black guys and hanging out with them. And they're like, "Hey, what are you doing?" He's like, "Man, come on! I'm sitting with my friends. I don't see color."
Yep.
So he's hilarious in this.
And notice how big
also,
he was in this one.
He was
like at the peak of his weight, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yes, especially compared to now. So I want to mention one other, maybe three other. Oh, Hayden Panettiere played Coach Yost's daughter, Cheryl Yost, she might as well have been one of the coaches. And she was, 9 years old in this?
Yeah, she did really good. And it's funny because like she popped up on the screen, and I'm like, man, why do I? It's like I've seen this girl in something, And then I saw her name come across, and I was like,
Hilarious.
"Oh yeah, I forgot that Hayden was in this."
So then there was Ryan Gosling played Alan Bosley, one of the wide receivers.
Yeah.
Young Ryan Gosling, like.
Yep.
But this next one is someone that you will know, who played Ronnie Sunshine Bass, who was also a transfer student from California. Was played by none other than Trevor Lawrence. Oh wait, I mean Kip Pardue.
We
It's
get
funny.
that
I wanted to say that
sunshine.
just for the. I wanted to say that just for the fact Jacksonville picked him in the draft. When I watched him walk across the state, I said, "That's Sunshine," and so I have always referred to him as Sunshine.
You and everybody I know. It is funny though. Like it's
I mean,
it's spitting image.
Is that a bad thing?
No, spitting image. Like they yeah. But the thing is, the Jacksonville Jaguars did
not a bad thing.
No. I think we got some lag going on. I don't know if it's you or me, but we're talking over each other.
We do.
But Sunshine and the thing that the Jacksonville Jaguars didn't do was make him cut his hair. He's still got that long flowing blonde locks out of his helmet. So, all right. So let's talk about this, man. I want to ask you, if you had to pick whether or not this movie was a sports movie or a drama movie, what would you say? We have an issue. I think Bryan J's. Hang on. You there, Brian?
I'm still here.
All right. I think we got some lag going on. Would you call this a sports movie or a drama movie?
It's. I don't think I could categorize it as one or the other. I think it's both, but if I had to put it into one, into just one, I'd probably say drama.
So I was going to ask you, and Brody can answer too. So just as kind of a debate. So first we'll start off on the sports movie, right? Would the movie be as good of a sports movie if the drama, the story of what was going on off the field was removed and turned into something different, right? So a different story was done almost outside the ring, off the field, and we just had everything you saw on the field stayed the exact same, but the stuff off the field, would it be as good of a sports movie if we remove that drama out?
No.
Or change the story, I guess. So no. Okay. Now let's flip-flop. Would it be as good of a drama if we remove the sports and change what they were doing? The story stayed the same, but the players were doing something other than sports.
No.
So you don't think so? Okay. So
I don't think so. I
okay. I mean that's good. To me, I think yes on sports, or reverse, no on sports and yes on drama. I think it would not change how good of a movie it was if the sports were removed and the players were doing something else, because the story to me is the overall arc, the story of the movie, if that makes sense, right? So I think the impactfulness, if Coach Boone was, let's just call it, directing a school play, and they're going to do a play on a theater rather than playing sports, but the story's the same. They still have to do a play with, white and African Americans have to work together to make this play good. I think that would be just as good of a movie, in my opinion, doing it that way versus the other way around, if that makes sense.
It does.
We got some comments here. I can't really see them on the screen, but you can see them rolling up on the right-hand side. Turn the feature on if you can see right below Brian's picture. So we can, it's great because the story surrounding the team, not so much the sport. See, Brody, I kind of agree with that. Yep. So lots of leadership. Man, we see leadership. We see respect, kind of that brotherhood, overcoming differences. And you're kind of balancing between sports, entertainment, that historical, social commentary that kind of not overshadows, that's the wrong word, but like takes over the movie kind of theme there. So love this movie, dude. Like this, like I said, probably my favorite, if 100% in my top 3 favorite sports movies of all time. What were some of the scenes that stood out to you as some of your favorite parts of the movie that you want to kind of call out and talk about?
There were a lot, but one of them was when Coach Boone goes over to Coach Yost's house with his daughter, because he has a daughter about the same age. However, she is not into sports. And they go over, and Coach Yost's daughter is shooting baskets. And she's like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm shooting baskets." Here. Passes her the ball, and the girl just sidesteps it. And she's like, "I just did my nails." There's a lot in this movie. But this is a heavy movie, like, to watch, knowing what everyone went through back then, and just realizing what they went through. And so it's kind of a heavy movie to watch, but I liked the scenes that were, some of the scenes that pointed that out, when Gary's girlfriend kind of breaks up with him, or they kind of separate for a little while, and he's like, "Hey, I'm going out with a friend," and she's like, "Oh, well, we're not going down the same road."
Yeah.
And later on, she kind of gets back. That's a really good scene. The scenes when they were just at college, like once they started to gel, and you could see that they were having fun together. And anytime Ethan Suplee was dancing.
Dancing and singing.
And also Ryan Gosling when he was talking. So my favorite scene is when he's talking the first time to his roommate, and Ryan Gosling had this music on, and he was singing to it, and he's got a cowboy hat on, and he's just like singing, and the other guy's like, "No, man."
How about the bus scene where they're all getting ready to go to camp, and Coach Boone's kind of talking to Gary, and the buses load up, and you can tell, obviously, one bus is full, all the white kids. The other bus is full of all the African-American kids. And Coach Boone kind of looks at that and says, "All right, we're changing it up." Tells everybody to get off the bus and says, "Offense goes here, defense goes here. Doesn't matter what color you are, what race you are. Whoever you're sitting next to, that's who you're going to room with the entirety of camp. Get used to it." Kind of trying to build that bond between the team. One of my favorite scenes, that's because that was kind of the start of what they were building throughout the whole movie. I also love the part where Gary was I believe it was on the field, and they were working really late, practicing really late, and he got pissed at one of the players and hit him. And the coach Yost said, hang on, let him figure it out. And then they ended up coming together, getting the play. They celebrated. They started doing strong side, left side, strong side, and started, kind of finally starting to bond over the game and with each other. Super cool moment.
Oh yeah.
Another one, man, was the 3 a.m. run where they all got up and the coaches ran, the players ran. They went to the cemetery and they kind of had that.
Yep.
Was it the Gettysburg speech that Denzel or Coach Boone did, and kind of such great. I mean, heavy, like you said. That's kind of how you can describe it. Was a heavy theme, heavy scenes, and it made you feel like, man, this is 70s. This was not really that long ago, to be honest with you, that people had to deal with a lot of this stuff. So, you kind of mentioned the Gary's car accident. That was another one, man. Like that, something that unexpected, kind of a twist right before the championship game. He gets paralyzed from the waist down and can't play in the final game. And everybody kind of goes to the hospital and bonds together and says, you know what, we're going to win this for you. That's what, that's what's going to happen. And so I can't say enough good things about the movie, man. Like I can't. Is there any other scenes you wanted to chat about?
I know we pretty much covered them.
What about any favorite quotes for the movie?
One of my favorite quotes is by Coach Yost when he said, Coach Boone walks by him and said something, and he's like, "You worry about your offense, I'll worry about my defense." And he says that at least 4 or 5 times. Worry about your offense, I'll worry about my defense.
Yep. That was actually one of mine that I had written down as well. Loved it. The left side, strong side was my second one that I wrote down, because that was the big bonding moment. Also, attitude reflects leadership, where Gary and Julius were talking, and Julius, he was getting on to Julius that says, your effort is minimal. And he goes, well, Captain, attitude reflects leadership. So that's kind of what I wrote down as well. So anybody else in the comments, chat, if you guys got any favorite quotes, if you're listening to the show live, if you're listening to it on the podcast platform, comment on the episode. Let us know what your favorite quotes of Remember the Titans are. We will feature it next week's episode. And on our social medias. But outside of that, man, what did you think of the soundtrack, the music that they played in the movie?
Oh, I thought it was great. It fit the time. I think they did a really good job with it.
Yeah. Ain't no mountain high enough. That one stuck with me. That's
and they picked the key songs that hit the right spots of the movie.
It did, man. They did really well, and it kind of every song that happened in the movie kind of helped elevate the emotion of what was going on at the time, and they did a really good job.
Yeah.
Whoever was in charge of the music knocked it out of the park.
So really quick, this is not a quote, but it's another scene that I liked. Coach Boone, I don't know where they were, but Coach Yost and his daughter were there. Coach Boone walks in, looks at the little girl, and says, "Hey, Coach." That just hit me. You're like, that's awesome.
Yeah. I really like Coach Boone.
Sorry, I had to interject that.
No, you're good, because this kind of brought me back to at the very beginning of the movie where he's up in front of the entire team talking about, hey, sorry, Brody's comment. Let's focus this one here. There you go. You've taught this city how to trust the soul of a man rather than the look of him. Love that one. Yep. But where Coach Boone was talking about saying, like, if you throw an interception, you'll run a mile. If you fumble the ball, I'm going to break my foot in your hind end, and then you'll run a mile. Like his whole speech there. All right, it was perfection. I expect perfection. Let's go to work. And I don't have that written word for word, but that's essentially what he said.
Oh, yeah. It was great.
Great movie, man. What outside of Remember the Titans, what were some of your favorite sports movies? It doesn't have to be in this general area, but like all around. What were some of your favorite ones?
When I was really young, I liked The Natural. So I might catch crap for this, but one of my favorite all-time sports movies is The Sandlot.
You're gonna get no flack from me.
And then I like.
That's on that's on our list, right? That's got to be on our list at some point in time.
Yes, okay. I don't know when that came out.
I don't either. But whenever it did, we need to make sure we do it. Anyway, go ahead.
It's on the list. I like The Replacements. I was never one that really liked The Longest Yard, but I liked the remake they did of it with Adam Sandler. I thought was really good.
Yep.
And let's see, what other sports movies were there that I liked?
Yeah, so
I don't know. I like the other Disney football movie, Little Giants.
Oh yeah, Little Giants. Little Giants came out.
I thought Little Giants was great.
Little Giants came out in September. It was actually one of the movies that I was going to pick. However, it didn't make the cut. So, for you Little Giants fans out there, you're going to have to wait until next September for Nostalgia Mania to do Little Giants.
Maybe. We do have some months where there's nothing that really came out. So
yeah, we might pull it up. We'll see. Yeah, man, I like the what?
Nobody is hating the Sandlot, Brody.
No. Yeah, this one, like I said, this one's up there, man. I loved We Are Marshall. Did you ever watch We Are Marshall?
Yeah, I did. Fun fact, they played Marshall in the movie. Marshall High School.
The high school, yeah.
Remember the Titans. That Marshall is the same like city, or that high school kind of fed into Marshall College.
Did not know that.
Because they're like right around the same area.
Interesting. Did not know that. Yeah. We Are Marshall. Love that movie, man. It's great. Also, A League of Their Own is one of my favorites.
Love that one too.
So those two, and then obviously this one's probably, I don't know, I have to probably sit down and think about all my sports movies, but those three kind of came top of mind to me. So
Major League.
Major League's good. Major League is good.
Sure.
Are you a Mighty Ducks fan?
I am. I like the first Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, I did too.
And also basketball.
Basketball.
I don't know if you'd consider that a sports movie, but it was funny.
It was. That's funny, man. So the reason I kind of brought that up, we kind of talked about a couple of the other movies that were out around the same time, but like, how do you think Remember the Titans holds up to those movies that were released around the same time? The Any Given Sundays, Varsity Blues, The Replacements, Rudy was released in '99, I think. Friday Night Lights. Where would you rank Remember the Titans and how it holds up against all the other competition that they had?
Oh, I think it holds up great. I mean, I think it's kind of one of those that it kind of not pushed Hollywood, but it kind of lit a fire under Hollywood to start kind of telling true sports stories that maybe they weren't all happy endings. But yeah, I think it kind of pushed them for more like realism.
Yeah.
And I think it holds up really well.
I do too. Like I said, my favorite of all of those, and there's some damn good ones in there. So that about wraps things up for Remember the Titans. Brian, did you have anything else you wanted to cover before we jump into our favorite segment of the week?
I don't think so. I think I'm good.
All right. Well, with that being said, I think it's time to jump into the retro recast.
Hold on, can you put
what?
Can you put Brody's comment about Rudy up there really quick? So, I actually met someone who was on the Notre Dame football team with Rudy, and was talking to him, and he said Rudy was the biggest jerk. Pretty much, like, it wasn't all like a feel-good story at all. He pushed his way onto the team, pushed his way to, do what he did on the team, and he was quite the jerk, from what I heard. So I didn't talk to this person for very long, but yeah,
Right,
just wanted to let you know.
Sentiment, yeah.
So I watched that movie once, and I will never watch it again. So apologize for.
No, you're good. I think I'd only seen it once as well. So, all right. With that being said, let's jump into the retro recast.
Yes.
Idiot! Wrestling's not fake!
Run, Forrest, run! Run, Forrest!
I'll be back.
Hey, Gary, check it out. It's the retro recast.
That's right. We got the retro recast. Remember, we are going to recast the 4 main characters of Remember the Titans: Coach Boone, Coach Yost, Gary, and Julius. If Remember the Titans was released today in 2025, who would you recast in these 4 roles to play the movie in 2025? If you're watching live, get your picks in. We'll talk about them and we'll bring them up on the screen. We have a couple entries that we'll talk about first, and then we will hop right into our picks. First up, I posted this on Twitter, or the X machine, whatever you want to call it nowadays. I still call it Twitter. And I had one comment. You are familiar with this individual. His name is Austin Reddick. And he commented on my post and basically just said he would keep Denzel and anybody else doesn't matter. He'd buy a ticket to see that. So, because Denzel's so damn good. That was our X choice.
Brody, you need to pick another Coach Boone. He's not acting right now.
I mean, he could. You know. I mean, he could bring him out of retirement. You never know. It's all right. No worries.
Well, we will put that up there.
We'll put it up there.
Your answers.
So we had over on Facebook, Jen Irwin. So here's her pick. She we're gonna go over. She posted it in reverse order, but we got Coach Boone as Sterling K. Brown. Coach Yost, she put as either Matt Damon or Mark Wahlberg. Gary was Leo Woodall or Will Poulter. And then Julia, she's put Michael B. Jordan as her choices. So nice little round of picks there. Let's take a look at the comments. We got Brody Hall in the house. Let's see what his is. Coach Boone is Michael J. Fox. What don't I know about Fox?
That he's pretty much retired from acting now because of
His condition.
condition.
Yeah.
And he just I think, what was the last thing he was in?
I honestly don't know. It's been a long time.
He just his physical condition will really allow him to do that.
Yeah. Well,
But we're gonna keep him in there.
yep, we're keeping it there because he got old Russell Crowe as Coach Yost. I like it.
I
Tom
like that.
Hardy as Gary, and then Omar Epps was Julius. So there's Brody's picks. Stop ruining the game, Brian.
Not ruining the game.
Hunter Dilling, what are your picks, man? Let's get your picks in here before we travel. Here, going to pull the graphic up again. Coach
Yes,
Boone,
Hunter.
Coach Yost, Gary, and I know I'm putting you on the spot, so it's hard to think. It takes me a minute to try to think of actors to do these. So you obviously probably can't do it right off the spot. But if you've got any picks, let us know. Bryan J, I want to let you go first this week. You got any precursors you want to talk about, or just bring up your graphic? Let me know.
Not really. Let's just bring it up.
All right, here's Bryan J's recast.
So I had Anthony Mackie as Coach Boone, just because he's kind of he can be no sense at times, and he can be your best friend at other times. Had Matt Damon as Coach Yost. Apparently that's popular. Jerry, I had Griffin Santapietro. I have problems with his last name. Santo Pietro, who played Anthony on Cobra Kai. And then Caleb McLaughlin from Stranger Things as Julius.
I like it. I like it. Lots of good picks there. I love your Anthony Mackie choice for Coach Boone. I think he'd be a great fit.
Yeah, I think so.
Also, we got Hunter Dillon. He says, honestly, even though this is a recast, I wouldn't change a thing. You are in the same boat as our friend Austin Reddick, professional wrestler, wrestles at Fountain City Pro. Same thing. As long as you keep Denzel, he's happy. He don't care who plays anybody else. He would not change much either. All right, let's pull mine up now. All right. So here's my choices. So as Coach Boone, I am casting Idris Elba. Kind of brings that same intensity and charisma that I think would be a perfect Coach Boone. Kind of demanding that respect. John Hamm playing Coach Yost.
Yes.
You know, that's kind of a strong counterpart to Idris. And Alexander Ludwig, man, a little bit older than I like to try to keep the ages around the same as the movie was, but I went a little bit older with Gary and Julius on this one. Alexander Ludwig, you guys probably know him from Heels. Great show, by the way, if you haven't seen that. But I think he's got that physical presence that I think would be a good Gary, and
Oh yeah.
and likable, because at first you don't like him, then he starts, then he becomes likable. He did the same thing in Heels. And then Michael B. Jordan, also a popular choice for Julius. Athletic, and he got that confidence that I think would be a great Julius character. So, funny thing, man, is – go ahead, Brian.
Oh, no, I was just agreeing.
Funny thing, my sister, Jen Irwin, picked Matt Damon for Coach Yost, which you did, and then picked Michael B. Jordan for Julius, which I did. So she had a combination of our picks. So, but I think both of ours. Go ahead.
I did not leak my picks to anyone other than you.
Nope, and I didn't either. Yeah, I kept it between us. But I think your Anthony Mackie and then Idris Elba are probably the two best, other than Denzel himself, as Coach Yost. In my opinion, I think that would be a great pick.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, there you have it. There's our retro recast. Love that segment of our show, and I like the. What do you think of the new video to kind of kick us off?
Oh, I love it. You sent me that. I love it.
Yeah, I was trying to get, it's a little bit longer than I wanted it, but whatever. I think it'll be fun.
So I was going to ask you, can I post this online? Just curious, and then I was like, you know what? I better not, in case he's going to debut it. So
No,
I'm glad you did.
You can post it now, so
No.
you're free to post. So, before we get out, we always have to do that kind of ranking and nostalgia score. So, what we're gonna do from here on out is we both will rank them on different categories, and then it'll kind of be like an overall ranking at the end and see kind of where we fall. And I'm going to write these down as we go. So we're going to rank these from 0 to 10, 0 being the worst, 10 being the best. So Bryan J, where would you rank Remember the Titans on its story or plot?
I mean, it's hard to do with this one because the story is real. But, I mean, I guess I would have to say if this is something that would catch my interest to go see the movie, if I'd never seen it before, I would say 9.
Yep. And I was going to say that, and we'll go back and I'll go first on the next category, so that way you're not always going first. But I am going to agree with that on the 9s. So I'm going to go 9 on a story as engaging. It was very well done. I think I'm going to put that as a 9. The next category is characters, and how well you think the characters were, not only casting, but your character development, the chemistry between everybody. And I think just on the sheer fact of character development, I think this is as close to a 10 as you can get. And I'm probably going to go with 10 on this, just solely based on character development. What about you?
I agree. 10 all the way.
All right.
I was, as soon as you said that, they all just played off each other, and the right characters were the right actors were in the right spot.
Right. Yep. What about we'll go? You're going to go first here. Entertainment value.
Oh man.
So I got little subcategories. So the subcategory to this: rewatchability, emotional highs, overall enjoyment.
Okay, so we're doing each one or doing it overall?
That's all lumped in under entertainment value.
Okay. I'm gonna put it up there to 9.
All right. We'll go 9.
It is a heavy emotional story.
It is very emotional. Caught my interest the entire time. Like I never want to look away, and the only time I did was when I heard my kids screaming from the other room, so I had to get up and go make sure everything was fine. But I mean, for the sake of I don't want to be different, but I'm gonna have to say 9. I mean, I think we're gonna have a lot of these of the same, but the ending, is the next one. The ending, satisfaction, emotional payoff, how well it wraps up the story. Again, also, I'm gonna rate that as a 9. I think it did a pretty good job wrapping up. And then the only thing that might be different here is that we're going to go back to the nostalgia score. And we're going to rank this as 0 to 10 as well. We'll keep our normal 0 to 5. I'll bring up the graphic here. Where would you rank this as far as a nostalgic? Growing up, I know it came out when both of us were, well, you were an adult. I was in high school. Where would you rank this as far as your nostalgia score?
So this is, I mean, it's hard for me on this one just for the fact that it's not that I love the movie. It's not one that really comes to mind a ton when I'm trying to find something to watch. I'm at like a 3 or a 4. I'm probably as close to 4 as you can get.
All right. And for me, I'm going to put myself in the 2 to 3 range because I'm kind of the same way. I love the movie, but I did not, and you're going to probably find this a lot for me, is I don't rewatch a lot of movies very often. So a lot of movies I've seen once, maybe twice, except for the fact of a couple, here and there I've seen a million times, but I'm going to put this more along the 3, medium nostalgia. So I'll put that there. So with that being said, quick math. Brian, you're probably let me see if I can pull this up and do this real fast before we sign off here. All right. I screwed that up. I'm doing an overall ranking here. All right. Brian, your overall's a 9. And mine's an 8.6. So there we have it. Remember the Titans.
And this is also one of those movies where you're like, hey, we're going to watch this. And I'm going in. I didn't realize how much I liked the movie until we started watching it.
Yeah. Same. And when was the last time you watched this movie before this week?
I will be honest, it'd probably been 10 or more years.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. That's usually my answer for a lot of these, but I'm going to say it's been at least a couple of years. I think I watched it around 2022. I mean, it was post-pandemic. I'd seen it,
Sure.
But yeah, I'm glad we did it, man. I'm glad. A great movie.
Me too.
So great movie. All right, guys, next week we got a heck of a show for you. We will be back here on Wednesday night, September 10th, live. So if you're listening to this, make sure you tune in and join in the conversation. But we'll be talking about a movie that you have seen that I have not seen before, and that is Shaun of the Dead.
Yes.
So,
I thought we were going in a different direction with the movies, and I was thinking it was the other movie, but
you thought it was Rush Hour next week?
I did.
Here's a little bit of a hint. Ba-boom. We're going to flip over. Look at that. Shaun of the Dead.
I'm good. This will be fun.
Yeah.
You are going to enjoy this movie.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch it, man. I saw I watched the trailer of it, and it looks mighty entertaining. So
and
I gotta find out.
There are no parts in the movie that are like you didn't even see any of the good parts of the movie in that.
Well, good, because the trailer looked entertaining, and if it's better then I'm good. I can't wait for it.
It's one of those where I'm not a fan of vampire movies or zombie movies. This movie I could watch weekly.
Yeah. That's awesome. I can't wait for it, man. Where can I watch it? Where can anybody watch it if they want to watch it before we go live? Because I'm gonna have to do that. I gotta go find a streaming platform that has it.
That is a good question.
Amazon Prime. I probably got to pay it on Amazon Prime. Got to pay $5 to watch it or something. Anyway, we'll figure it out.
It is on Philo, Apple, Google TV, I believe Netflix.
Ooh, if it's Netflix, I got that. That's an easy one.
Looks like Shaun of the Dead is. It looks like it. I will let you know, though.
Yeah. So everybody go tune in, go rewatch Shaun of the Dead unless you've seen it lately. We'll be back here next Wednesday night, September 10th. With that being said, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Brody Hall, Hunter Dillon. I think that's the only two that commented. We saw we had some viewership, but nobody comments. I see we had a couple on Twitch this week, but usually they're random bots, so that may not be real viewers. Anyway, this is another edition of Nostalgia Mania. We are inching closer and closer and closer to our 1-year anniversary episode. Again, we got to figure out something cool to do for that episode 52. We are on episode 47, so October is going to be it, man. I can't believe I've been doing this for a year. It's wild. Time flies.
Awesome.
Time flies. All right. That being said, I am your host, the real Josh Elliott. With me, as always, Bryan J. Baby. Hunter knows. We'll see you guys next week, and as always, let's get nostalgic.
Rewind the time, crank up the glow. Back when Blockbuster ruled the show. From slap bracelets to Saturday tunes, cartoons hit different.